Hello, my name is Tom Bear. This is the Edgy&Weird Podcast. Coming to you on a Monday. It is the 5th of June. And I am a bit late putting this episode out because I worked every day this week. I worked Saturday. I usually have Saturdays off. We had a little extra party. So, not getting off one day until next Saturday. But I figured, hey, I've got a few thoughts stirring around in this old noggin. Why not put the motherfuckers out on fucking film? Film? What is this, 1980? Man, I was at work. God, I should turn the name of the podcast to, yeah, I was at work. I swear, I start every story with I was at work. But there was this white guy. Ain't that always the thing? It's this white guy complaining. He's like, hey, how come you guys ran out of everything? Like, you're supposed to have a buffet. It's a buffet. It's supposed to go till 7:30. It's 6:30, and you guys ran out. Well, first things first. You're a little right, and you're a little wrong. We do act like this is a buffet, even though we're serving you. So we're literally just doing the whole thing. But I'm a woman, even though you have a dick. We're doing that kind of a little bit. Because we're serving you. We're giving you small portions, you know. A little bit more if you want. But we're serving you, which is definitely not what happens at a buffet. You serve yourself. I'll give you that. Running out of things. I'll give you that too. We ran out of like 2 or 3 things, but this is after everyone already ate. And then about 20% of them came back and grabbed more shit. A lot more shit. That 20%. And then we ran out of 3 things. And so this guy's like, you don't have rolls, you don't rolls, dinner rolls. You don't have any more of the fish. Like, you guys just run out of shit. You just have this thing. We're only supposed to be open for an hour. It's a luau, so if you don't know how luau's go, you eat first, and then you watch the show. You do not eat during the show. That is not the way it goes. Okay? So I'll give you buffet. Should be as much food as you want. Until the show starts. Then you sit your ass down. It's a 2-hour evolution. 1 hour for everyone to eat, and then another hour for everyone to watch the fucking show. It's not that fucking difficult. But if you're white, apparently it is. And this is where I have the gripe. It's, yeah, I know that stuff happened. Shut up anyway. And watch the fucking show. Dude, I felt like, you know when you're little, maybe some people don't know this, but when you're little, and you're about to get an ass whipping, and then the first lick comes, and you're like, my God, like these merciless monsters that are beating me right now, I can't wait till this is over. The other side of that ass whooping is an abyss. Because you don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when they're going to get tired. You don't know how angry they actually are at you. You know, which, by the way, parents saying, I beat you because I love you, that's a myth. Oh, that's why you look so angry. Because of the love you have in your heart. That's why you look angry while you're hitting me with this belt. Because of all that love. Yeah, doubt it. You're just mad, and you can't beat up your boss, so you're taking it out on me. Thank you, I appreciate you. And that's all because of love. So yeah, that's not happening. But it's like, right at the beginning, it's just like, oh my God, how long is this gonna go? Fuck, dude, I'm getting my ass whipped again. This is so fucking painful. Until after a while it starts not to be. But the thing is, I was looking at that white guy who had the same disdain for everyone who he thought was below him, who he could bully. He just couldn't beat us with belts. But he wasn't going to stop. So I'm just like, dude, fuck me. How long is this going to go? Fuck. Like, we get it. The stuff happened. Can you get the fuck over it and watch the show? You're not that important. And it's not that fucking serious. You already ate. Shut up. You've literally got 3 plates in your hand full of fucking Kahlua pork. Shut up and go eat it. You want the bread so you can get the diabetes? Shut up. Man, so yeah. People like that just always fucking get to me. Then, okay, I was listening to this podcast. Theo Von. He's talking to somebody. He's talking about weed. I swear, bro. Like, he seems like one of those dudes who's a comedian, but kind of barely. He's also just very sad, you know? And he was just like, so the guy was talking about smoking this type of weed or this type of strain. I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about smoking some weed, blah, blah, blah. And so Theo was like, isn't it strange? Alright, this is my Theo Von exit. Isn't it strange how like years ago everyone was talking about how bad that was, and then now like everyone's talking about how good it can be? Ain't that strange? Isn't that strange? Theo. I see what you're trying to do with the reverse psychology of it is strange how everyone's acting like this drug is not a drug. It's actually the opposite, where everyone called this thing a drug, but it was actually more medicinal. But because they didn't want it to impact the rubber industry and the plastic industry, they said, I don't even know. Fuck, who is they? I really should look this stuff up, yeah. There was a whole campaign about the people who were in charge of rubber and fucking, hell, there's a famous name. Look this shit up, dude. I should probably look it up, but I don't feel like it because it's late and I'm tired and I've already been drinking. But look this shit up. There's a fucking dude who pretty much campaigned against marijuana for that reason. It had nothing, bro. It has been helping people for hundreds and hundreds, if not a couple thousand years. Marijuana has. People weren't dying of cancer a lot when there were fucking caves and like tabernacles and shit because they were smoking the fucking marijuana. But because now people said devil's lettuce, here we are. And so you have people like Theo who are trying to act like they're trying to be like cool and chill and everything, but actually he's just kind of a Bible thumping, self-hating, you know, like he hates that he jerks off. Once again, I already talked about this a little bit. Hating that you jerk off is an internal struggle and an issue that has to do with your own self-worth and your own self-hate. You do not have to jerk off and hate yourself. You can jerk off and get enjoyment out of that. You just have to understand the process that's happening, okay? So here's the thing. Biologically, we are made to want to get that thing out of us. Now, biologically also, we are made to want to procreate. So you look at a woman, and then, for those who are, I get it. The spectrum is wide. But for those who are, you're made to look at a woman and be like you're like, yeah, those titties. Fuck, Louis C.K. did a bit about this. Like, I want to come in her fucking. No, you actually want to just come in her pussy, but we pretend like it's like, oh, I want to come on her face and all this stuff. Those are all perversions, which are very fun. But they're all fucking perversions. Sex is great because you can explore all these different things, but at the end of the day, you're supposed to put the fucking P in the V and fucking squirt in there, and then a baby comes out. Alright, well, when you've got 8 billion people on the planet, we kind of have to start thinking about some things. When most of those people are a problem, just because their bodies. They're not really doing anything to help. They're just there, and they're making more bodies. Yeah, that's not great. When you've got a heavy planet with a lot of fucking problems, and a part of that problem is the people on it. So not great. Look, I'm getting off topic here. So it's like, dude, like, don't try this passive aggressive kind of backhanded, like, hey, isn't that something? How it's a drug because you are an addict, and because you have a hard time with drugs, actual drugs, including alcohol, that can be considered a drug. You have problems with that, so you want to fucking, and because you're like, oh, why are they smoking weed over here? Why, like, don't they realize? No, don't you realize that your mind has been tricked to think that this is a drug like all of the other drugs that you did? And by the way, just like jerking off, it is a personal problem. If you cannot smoke weed and be productive, that is your personal problem. Because I can smoke weed and be quite productive. I do a fucking podcast on weed and drinking, and I fucking do a whole luau while I'm high. Fuck, I hope the wrong people don't listen to this shit. But I'm just saying, I perform quite well when I'm doing both of those things. You do not, because that is your own thing. And when I cannot, then I will not do those things. If that even becomes a problem. And sometimes I stop drinking. It's just the weed. It'll always be the weed. Willie Nelson up in this motherfucker. Till I'm 150. Or 60 when I die, probably. I'm going to be smoking this fucking ganja. Bro, you've got the fucking... Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? No, what's crazy is that someone convinced a whole civilization that something that is medicinal is a drug. Percocet, OxyContin, they are more drugs than marijuana. When is the last time you saw someone lose their teeth over marijuana? When is the last time you saw someone lose their liver over marijuana? No, if anything, they talk about how different cannabis strands help different types of fucking cancer and inflammation in the fucking joints and ligaments and all that shit. These cannabinoids, it's actually in our body. And then the cannabinoids on the outside help the ones on the inside. We're born with cannabinoids in our body. But it's a drug, my dude. It's not even get back to philosophy and learn anything. It's this. It's simply this. For anyone out there who's like this type of person, who wants to act like they're trying to be cool, but they actually still have so much self-loathing and hate and like, but this is actually bad. For people that are doing that, you just hate yourself and do not project your self-hatred onto everyone else. Because that's all he's doing. Like the girl with the fucking sex work that he talked to. You know, yeah, so you had something bad with your family going on, right? So that's why you're doing this? No. She's like, no, I'm fine. Me and my parents, we have a great relationship. This is not for everyone. This is just for me. So for anyone who has their own personal things going on, and because by all means, I've met people in my line of work. This is the sex worker talking. I've met people in my line of work who was like, oh, they're not well off. But my friends and me, we're fine with it. You know? It's just like any other job where you got your cool people, your good people, and your bad people. And you just have to deal with that. You know, but we keep everything professional, and we know this. You know, you do the vetting and everything, and then you go to work. And he's just like, No, you have to be depraved. You have to be like me. You have to think shitty of yourself to jerk off. You have to think shitty of yourself to fucking smoke weed and do anything. Fuck, bro. You know, man, don't listen to your heroes too much. Because they'll pretty much disappoint you. Here's the thing: if you're gonna listen to them, don't believe in them. Listen to them and go. If something hits, sure, be like, that hit. That's cool. Take that with you. But understand they're just people too. They're just fucking people. Now, I suppose, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed because when I first started listening to this dude, I just thought he was fucking funny. But like most comedians, you listen to him long enough, and then you hear the fucking family sadness. You know, you hear you hear that they're probably going home and they're crying their fucking eyes out. You know, it's just sad, dude. It's just fucking sad. You know, this guy. Still funny though. Oh, by the way, in the vein of what I was just talking about, that podcast with those two ladies, that should be coming up Saturday, and hopefully I'll get that out maybe Monday, probably. I'm gonna have to edit and everything, you know. And fuck, I'm expecting some good things from that one. Like I got a few people who are looking forward to that podcast, and some of them already know the topic or the topics that we're going to discuss. So, fuck, look forward to that, dude. I will say that one of them considers himself as a they or there or them or whatever. And man, for me, that's just confusing. It's confusing an issue that doesn't really need to be confused. Like, it's hard enough to be a man and a woman on a spectrum. You don't have to actually, personally, you know, from my point of view, you don't actually have to add names and letters and all that stuff to your own personal issues that are literally internal. So, like, we all have the same type of personal issues as far as we all feel a certain type of shame. We all feel a certain type of love, hate, self-loathing, and all that. And all this does is just try to put that under an umbrella that's like that big. You know, oh no, you're this. Oh no, you're that. You know, I'm they. No, you're actually he or she, I think. Even though, here's the thing. I could be a complete retard and blah, blah, blah. I just think it's been he and she for a bunch of years, and everyone's been fucking each other for all those years, you know? Someone told me a little joke today where somebody was like, okay, so someone was going to buy something from a guy, and then the guy was like, all right, that'll be $10. I don't know how they brought even the topic of what that person was into it, but then he was like, or the person was like, oh no, I'm them. He was like, oh, well that'll be, or I'm they. He was like, oh, well that'll be $20. What? But I'm only getting it for me. Yeah. But you said they, so that implies that there's more than one. So your concept of they is you. My concept of they is more than you. So $20. That wasn't necessarily funny the way I said it, but I think it's a funny fucking concept. No, let's just make it all ambiguous. Let's just make it all ridiculous and also a bit confining, because now we have to put names to things. The spectrum of humanity between men and women, between what men and women like, is a fucking ocean, bro. It's space. It does not have to be named between anything, because it's too wide to put into any fucking category, any of several categories. Okay? From literally a person who just wants to be with one woman and have 2 kids to a pedophile. That's how different sexual indiscretion and all types of sexual energy, it comes in the many forms that have way, way, way more colors than any fucking rainbow. And then obviously on the variant of that spectrum, we should probably cut that motherfucker off and burn those motherfuckers. And the other one is like, well, that's a boring one. Personally, somewhere in the middle seems more fun to me. But you do not have to label yourself. You do not have to making other people label you. Well, that speaks to your own need for significance, which should come from the inside and not from what anyone calls you or thinks about you. How you actually feel about yourself, that needs to be on the inside. If you are requiring other people to say something, which they don't, here's the thing. When people say that to you, they think you're crazy. Anyone who's saying that to you other than the ones who are doing that themselves, they think you're crazy, or they think there's something wrong with you, and they're not wrong. There is something wrong with you. And if you act like there's not, you're even more crazy. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you're calling yourself they, them, even though I'm pretty sure that's part of it. But if you act like that there's nothing wrong with you, then you're fucking nuts. And I'm just going to say that needing to say that you are a they or a them is indicative of something being wrong with you that you are torturing yourself with. You should be okay with being able to call yourself a woman or a man that likes men or a woman that likes women. You should be okay with calling yourself that. And if you are not, if you need to say that you are a bunch of other things because you are the same thing that likes to suck or suck on the same thing, we got problems, man. Names are not what define us. We are what defines us. What we do and say and think and act and all that is what defines us. So stop pretending like you can put that on a thing. And then when you get mad at someone for not acknowledging that, that is also speaking to your own self-hatred and the need to literally project to a fault onto someone else that they should call you this thing. That is your own hurt, your own self-hate. It is nothing other than that. And here's the thing. Call yourself whatever you want. Refer to yourself whatever you want. If anyone wants to fucking be in that with you, let them be that. That's fine. If anyone who isn't calling you that, has a problem with that, there's something wrong with them. They should not have a problem. Even if they have their own opinions about you doing it, they should not have a problem. I'm speaking to what I think is the reality. But the reason why I'm saying that with no animosity is because I don't have a problem with anyone. If anything, I feel bad for them. Some of these people are my friends. I feel bad for them for feeling this way. But I think it's an ultimately convoluted way of addressing your actual issues, which has nothing to do with someone calling you he, she, they, them, z, zer, zay, za, whatever the fuck. That's some clown shit, whatever the fuck you're doing. Once again, I think I got off topic. I'm going to be having these two young ladies on, so I'm hoping that's going to be a good topic. Unless one of them listens to this, and then that could end up being a thing. But hey, we'll get to it. I'm not pulling shit. I'm only editing out things that don't make any goddamn sense. Other than that, everything stays in to be interpreted one way or another by those who listen, and then also by me, and then my interpretation of what they're interpreting as well. So, that's how I fucking run the ship. But yeah, that's just a few thoughts that were rummaging around in my head. And here are my fucking ratty teeth. Gotta do some laundry, baby. So I'm in my fucking whitey tee, which I don't give a fuck. But I had a girl tell me today, she's like, I'm gonna need you to change that. I want you to get a new t-shirt. I was like, no, I think I'm good. I don't give a fuck what you think about what I'm wearing, bitch. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? What I'm wearing right now while I'm setting this shit up has nothing to do, and it does not impact my job in any way. So why the fuck do you give a fuck? I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and go on and deal with your little trinkets. How about that? You want me to start picking apart what you're wearing? Fuck yourself, bitch. But I had a few, well, we'll say two, these last two episodes. Yeah, it's pretty much been me angrily fucking ranting into the mic. I listened back to some of those. I was like, hey, yeah, bro, you got hairy. Yeah. I talked a lot about death and killing people. I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry, but I just realized that, yeah, that was kind of heavy. God, it was supposed to be more about the satire. But no, I was really mad. I was really mad. I couldn't find a place to park on my fucking street. I got a fucking ticket because I've got a couple things expired, you know. But if I had parked on my street, then that wouldn't have been a problem. Goddamn phone. And people parking in double spots like it's a single. So that's 3 spaces that could have been open but weren't. And because of that, I got a ticket. Now, the reality, too, is I got a ticket because, obviously, it's my own fault. If I had thought in advance more responsibly, then I would not be in this position that I'm in right now. So that's also the reality. You can sit there and blame everyone else, you know. Yeah, people not being inconsiderate could make your life easier, but you should probably consider yourself. Yeah, donkey fuck. Ow. Consider yourself. For anyone who's not watching and listening, I just knocked myself on the head, and it hurt. Just fucking... I should probably be paying more attention to what I'm doing and what I'm doing and how that can affect me. But I think I pay attention to all the things around me too, and that's the thing for people that aren't considerate at all. I'm just looking at them, I'm just like, fuck, dude, like, if everyone was like you, we'd be fucked. And everyone would be murdering everyone in the fucking streets. There's a lot of inconsiderate people, but there's also a lot of considerate ones, so I guess you just kind of have to roll through it, dude. And that's why, to me, it's important to be a little high. A little high. It just makes greasing those wheels a little bit easier. Fuck it. Smoke it out. Call it a fucking day, because it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. And with that, I will leave you with another short episode. Yes, I'm going to call this 47, because it's been a half hour. Oh, that's a sitcom with no commercials. So we are going to call this fucking episode 37. And I'm going to be like, blah, 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 until it gets to 30, because it's at like 29:40 right now. Here's the funny thing, after I edit, it's going to be like 20 minutes anyway. So, alright guys. I don't have any fucking quips this time. We're all going to die. Fucking I hate you, all that stuff. You know, all the little things I'd like to say at the end. At this point, I'm just going to say, I'll see you next time. Bye.